We had to say goodbye to it, everyone. We had to say goodbye to our monster girls. We've got to say goodbye to that Mia, Pappy, Centauri. You know, it don't matter. We got to say goodbye to them, and it's like, I feel a little bit bad. I hadn't talked about the latest, like, you know, 2 episodes of, like, Monster Musume. I think I stopped around about, like, episode, like, 9 or, like, 10 or so, but it's like, basically, you haven't missed that much, and I just got to say, wow, they really went out on the last episode. They were realizing, like, okay, we've literally got nothing to really end on, like a big cliffhanger or something like that. Well, apart from like the first half of the episode, don't get me wrong, I still feel like the episode should have kind of ended at the first half and maybe like added this second part like later. It was very weird like how it just ended, but I'll get straight onto that right now in like the actual my kind of like my final thoughts and little review of like Monster Musume as a whole. So for first questions, it was like people are probably wondering like, oh, where exactly did they end in the series? Like what volume? You know, what they ended on like the first 2, like maybe 2 or 3 chapters of here. I know it's chapter 25 was the last one that they did. They did over like 2 years worth of material into it, which is like no surprise. They always do that pretty much with like a lot of series. They always either put like 100 chapters into it, like 12 or 24 episodes, or this series. So it's a lot, but it's like, yeah, honestly, it was smooth, and holy hell, the animation was phenomenal throughout this entire episode. They definitely went out full stops, like just going in with anime. It's like, just spend the budget. We've got it. Just use every single bit of it. And it's just like, when like everyone was trying to like escape from like Lala, when like, you know, he was there like escaping, all the girls trying to do it and pretty much getting him killed throughout the entire thing. It was just absolute just madness, like just go for it. Like we see Centauria doing this and all that, and honestly Rajne was like the only one to actually either like just like think about saying like, we're putting him through suffering. It's like, let him just like like end it now, whilst it like, you know, he's happy and, you know, he's not in pain, other than him, but I'm in pain. Like, and they were actually making like little parody jokes about like Final Destination and stuff. I know they've done that the previous before with like Metal Gear and JoJo and like a whole bunch of other stuff as well. It's just like, it came perfectly last time when like Metal Gear came out. It was like, wow, Metal Gear 5 literally just came out. This was the perfect time to do this episode, and it works very well. Like everything in it, and then when the main guy, he was like, you know, he was like, you know what, I'll accept my destiny no matter fucking what, and he like stands out in front of the truck, and they're like, oh, it's a toy truck in the end. It's like, oh, by the way, Lala's been making up bullshit about this whole thing about you know, because you're gonna die and all that. She's basically a chiribyo. If people don't know, that's like middle school like disorder where you try to act like, you know, kind of like something you're not like. So you always have like, normally how chiribyo is like describes like, oh, you have like this sort of like, oh, dark episode. It's like, yes, I am the Lord of Darkness. Honestly, if anyone's actually seen the anime chiribyo, you know exactly how that works. But it's like, yeah, like it's like, yeah, I could understand how exactly she's acting with this because the main character used to have it, and it was just like a short little panel or something like from like one of the chapters, but they actually went out of their way to do this whole little animated part of like seeing him, and it was like they went out just like doing all the committing, and then the final part of the episode was all of them just going out there and getting food. It was like, is this really how we're gonna end it off? Like him kind of spending time with every girl just a little bit. It's like, oh, let's get some fish, let's get some meat, let's get some, you know, carrots and vegetables and mushrooms. And it's like, honestly, Sue was adorable. Sue was just absolutely adorable. Like when she was in the like whole forest eating the mushrooms and stuff, and saying, oh, this is poisonous, and she's like have the little X and like cross. It's like, this is good. Yeah, like that. It's like, oh, like my heart melted. I was like, oh no, it's too cute. I can't stand it. Like, no, it's too cute. I can't. Stop, Sue. You're gonna destroy me. I can't do with that stuff. Like, but honestly, it's like, and then just the whole thing of her spitting out poison when she just literally became a fucking Pokemon and just like decided to destroy him was like, okay, yeah, this is what the show has resorted to. It's just like, it was weird. It was honestly funny. As like, because the whole episode ends like, yeah, get the food. It was like, oh, we could have, you know, you could have just used that as an expense to get the food, and you know, it'd be fine. It was, this is the thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. As a person that was just watching the anime and as overall the series, it was a really fun. I put it up there as like one of the better, like, you know, sort of ecchi series that you got out there. As a final episode, though, the episode itself was good. I think it was probably up there. You know, it was one of my favorites personally. But as a final episode, it was nothing. It was like, nothing kind of got resolved apart from the whole D thing, and it was, I see a lot of people find that underwhelming, like, thinking, oh, there's just another girl added at the end. It's like, ooh, like, And honestly, it's like, wasn't people really expecting like this big finale of like Monster Musume? Really, like, was you expecting like some great big like plot twist at the end, like sort of shonen battle kind of? No, yeah, it's a tit series. It's always been a tit series, and it will always remain one. But it will make you laugh at the same time. So, but it's like, even still, it's like the ending is just so lackluster. It's like, fuck it, I'm gonna cook for people. It's like, and then he just starts pulling some Shokugeki no Soma stuff. He's just like, there, yo, I'm cooking all this badass food. Like, here, enjoy. And like, even Centauria, when she was like eating some like carrot sticks and shit, she was like going in, like when they have that imagination thing, and like Soma was like, oh, this is like a heavenly god, or like some prince of tomatoes like taking me out. Like, it was weird as fuck. So honestly, I don't want to rate this episode, honestly, just because I'm so mixed on it. As like, honestly, if I kind of reviewed it, so it was like more final thoughts really of this one, if I honestly reviewed it as like, I would probably give it a bad score for being that, as just a personal fan of like enjoying it, of like the series, and I do enjoy it. And especially now, this is where I stopped in the manga, so now it's a perfect part for me to actually like read it. Like I said, it's chapter like 25. That is like, I think this is the last one that they did, and pretty much you can just read from there. And honestly, I think it's like 36 chapters, so you nearly got like a year's worth of stuff to read. I mean, we won't get another anime for a while, like if they're gonna do 2 years again, or like for like 12 episodes. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want a season 2, you're going to have to wait a while. They might do an OVA. They haven't announced anything for that. But honestly, showing from this last episode is like, oh my god, this show is just going to look amazing on the Blu-rays. And I think, like, how is this episode going to look on the Blu-rays? Because honestly, it was perfect. Like, animation, 10 on 10. Like, it was actually good. Like, story, like, fucking free. Like, it was just like that. It was like, it was a really bad ending. Like, just like, it was like, oh, that got resolved. And it was very lackluster. But it's like, honestly, I don't want to give it a score. It was like, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of the episode. Honestly, I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed Monster Musume for what it is. Ending, could be so much better. Like, you know, it could have left you with a at least with like High School DxD, it does it in a way where it's like, oh, you got kind of a bit of that cliffhanger, you know, a satisfying end. This was like, you know what? I'm just going to laugh it off and just enjoy it for what it is. And that's honestly how I feel about it. But let me know in the comment section down below. But that's all from me. So thank you very much for watching as always. And I'll see you guys next time.